Produced by BI.
People who don't want me to share from this place that I've been born into. I'm just a man. Why can't they understand the purpose of life?
Hey guys, welcome to my child too. I'm Rachelle K. I'm back again, you guys. I'm keeping it going. I'm keeping it going. I have the lovely Tasha with us here today, and she lost her son, and she's going to tell us about it. We're going to do some navigation, see what we can come up with, see how she's feeling and what she's doing, and give our condolences to her for the loss of her son. So Tasha, come on in. Hey.
Hey. Okay. Well, his name was Corey Antwaine Duncan. He was 16 at the time of his death. Corey was loving, caring, funny, helpful, respectful, just an all-around good kid in my eyes. Like, I didn't never have too many problems with him. He just had turned 16, February 16th. He was murdered March 19th of 2023. So, from my understanding and what I got from the detectives, he had went to a house party, which I knew of. He walked in, he seen a guy that he used to have problems with, I guess, back then. The guy called someone, and it ended up being a guy shooting basically at my son. My son jumped off a second floor balcony. He was asthmatic. He ran the long distance before he ended up collapsing. But he ended up, it was like 21 shots being fired. I guess between like my son and the other young men. And yeah, that's basically it.
Corey was at the party and he saw these guys, and you said that he had maybe a situation with them before. So kind of
Right.
tell us what before means.
Before meaning, I had sent him to live in Georgia with his dad, and I was still here because I work. I'm a single parent mother. I have two kids. Corey's my oldest, and at the time, my daughter was 11. So, um, with boys being a single parent mother, it's kind of hard. Like when it's not a male figure, you know, in that fashion or form, to where they can kind of be there to guide them. It was just only so much I can do as a mother, with working 12-hour shifts. So
Right.
we came to the conclusion of, okay, we're going to send you to Atlanta and stay with your dad to see how this going to work. And he stayed for a while. I ended up going down there to visit my sister because my sister was moving back, and he asked could he come back, and I basically told him yes, he could come back. So I brought him back with me, and then that's what I mean by before he. Yeah.
Okay. So, Tasha, Corey being a good kid and everything,
uh,
I'm bothered by the fact that he was 15, just made 16,
yeah.
and he was already having confrontations with other young men. Let me
Right.
ask you something. Have those men been charged? Have any boys? Have those
um
boys open they were boys?
they were actually mixed. Like what I'm being by mixed, I think the oldest was 23.
Okay.
um the actual shooter, um he didn't want to shoot my son, but I guess one of the other guys basically told him, like, shoot him or I'm gonna shoot you, basically. So he ended up, the police had put out warrant for him, and By the time they made it to his home, he had got into another situation where he ended up getting murdered.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is like, you know, we we're raising what we think are young men. The reality is that we're really raising warriors.
Right.
Like this life for them is nothing like we assume it is. You know, they come in, they eat dinner, they get something out to eat. We send them off, we go to work. And then while we're at work, like it has to be a lot of chaos for 8 people to feel like they have to shoot at Corey.
Right.
So you're shooting at him with the attitude or the idea of murdering him.
Right.
And we don't even think about not me and you, but I don't even really think that these young men, even at the age of 23, understands what that entails. Like what happens after you shoot the gun. Like, okay, I'm Big Bad Wolf and I shoot the gun, but after that, both families are affected as well as somebody going to jail in most cases.
Right.
What is that what you want your life to be? Because I do hear where they may say, even on the songs and stuff, like, I want a body, meaning that they want to murder somebody. But do we understand? Is this not a game? This is not the games that they play like Nintendo or whatever. I don't know what they play, but this is not that. This is people are being devastated by the
Right.
loss of their loved ones. And no one is taking it, and I'm not saying no one is taking it serious, but what I'm gonna say is I'm kind of giving my story a lot too, so I'm sorry. But
Oh, no, you
what I'm gonna
fine.
say is that yes, what I'm gonna say is that my child goes and shoots your child, and then I go hire an attorney to get my child off or get them the less time that they can, but they actually just killed somebody.
Right.
And I'm ready to put up my house and everything for them because I love them so much. But
Mhm.
where is the understanding that you don't do that?
Right. That's how I
You know what I'm
felt.
saying? We're not even teaching them. Yeah, I have a 7. Did the family ever, did they give you any condolence? Because from what I'm thinking, right, I'm thinking that this is a neighborhood. You said he didn't want to shoot Corey, which means to me maybe he knew Corey personally, and that
Right.
somebody had to know him personally because they was after him, right? And they
Uh-huh.
it was a situation before. So did the family at all say like, "Hey, we sorry for your loss"? I know for the other guy, they couldn't say it because he was done before it was even like right after Corey, somebody had got him. But I'm saying, do we have any, as adults, do we have any remorse for our children? Like, do we feel sorry at some point that they did this? And maybe we do. I'm sure we do. But do we express it at all? Or do we just keep going and dealing with our child or ever even coming over to say to you, I'm sorry about this. Like, this is not what I wanted to happen. Like,
Right.
anything. Like, I never hear where the mothers got together until we're in a visual where we're both in a group for our deceased kids. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. See, the thing too, I I never knew it was. I mean, when the detectives even told me it was 8 men shooting them, I was just blew because um I remember them saying like he was locked in a room with like I guess a girl he was messing with or something, but they was saying that the girl had when the guy had called and told the friends, the girl called too. So it was just like, wait, what? So basically, they kind of pinpointed as it was a setup because the same apartments my son was in, his girlfriend lived in, but she stayed in the front. So Corey was at her house at first, you know. And then he went to the back because his girlfriend's mother's boyfriend dropped my son off in the back to the party. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
I was just like, do what? But I remember her telling me, like, he was saying that, oh, this is my last party I'm going to. I'm getting me a job, blah, blah, blah. But she was like, the energy was off. Even the kids that were at the party, like, I've seen a handful of them, and they was like, during that time, you know, he was dancing, and because he liked to dance like me. So he in there dancing and, you know, having a good time. But they said that they remember him giving them a hug, like telling them like, I love y'all. And they was just like, it didn't feel right, you know, when somebody giving you a hug, like it just felt different from the normal hug he would give a person.
Yeah. Yeah, he was saying goodbye. So let me ask you this. So how long was it between the time Corey came back from Atlanta to the time that this party? So how long was he back in Indianapolis for
Um,
this party? Has he been back a week, a month, couple of months?
um, Probably about a little over 2 months, I want to say.
Over 2 months. And
Yeah.
so I want to say, I'm so sorry. I really am. And
Okay.
I give you my condolences to you and your family. And it's
Thanks.
a lot as a Black woman
Uh,
um, to deal with these losses. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that
right.
they don't have fathers. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that we take on the bulk of the responsibility. And it's hard for us to raise them
Right.
alone. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah, we can give them that loving and that care, but at some point they gonna buck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a
Yeah.
man, I
Yeah.
gotta be a man. And in these streets, you can't tell me how to act,
Yeah.
even though we kind of be blindsided to just think like, it's different in these streets. These
Right.
streets ain't no joke. And these women out here, these young girls that's setting these guys up, like at the end of the day, karma got to come around. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Right.
it's sad. It's
Uh,
sad that it's our race that's basically setting up our children. You know what I'm saying? We set up our men, which are really our future. And then what kind of future are we gonna have? You know what I'm saying? With
right.
all of them, with this way that they think, which is totally different. When I'm a little older, but when I was coming up, I ain't gonna, don't get it twisted. We had murders, you know what I'm saying? But not to this capacity. We had, things going on with gangs and little stuff like that. It was things going on, but now I was in a room with like maybe I'm gonna say 10 women, six of our children have been murdered. Like, that's retarded to me. That's
Right.
crazy. That's insane. You know what I'm saying? That's insane.
Yeah.
So now we're just gonna move it around a little bit. We're gonna kind of talk about you. So when this all happened, like, what was your first thought? Like, tell us about when you received the news, and then
So
tell us about what your mind said to you.
when I received the news, I was at work. So I normally work 12-hour shifts, like I said. I go in 5:30 a.m. I don't get off until 5:30 p.m. So during that whole morning, my day had been off, meaning I got to work late. I forgot my lunch. Like forgot to clock in. I just, was just all off. So I remember my supervisor asked me, "Hey Tasha, you okay?" And I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm just like all over the place today. And he was like, "You sure? Because that's normally not me." So I was at work. My nephew called me and he was like screaming over the phone, like, "Auntie, auntie, auntie, Corey did. They got him outside. He did." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" But mind you, around this time, I was leaving, going home. So I left from work at 8, and Corey was pronounced 8:03. Now, the distance from my job and my job and where he got killed at is like probably not even 3 minutes. So I'm like, do what? Like, that's the first thing. Like, you don't know what you're talking about? And so I hung up. I remember calling him. His phone was just ringing, ringing, ringing. And then I started calling, all the nearby hospitals. So then I remember screaming. Um, I was talking to my sister, and then we ended up going to the apartments. So as we go into the apartments, normally you'll see all these police taped off, all this. So what happened was, I'm thinking maybe it happened in the front. So we drives around. I go to the backside. I'm seeing these two police officers, like, they kind of cat a corner from each other. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's over there. So as soon as we go over there, I see the yellow tape. I instantly, by this time, it's cold. It's freezing. I had no coat on, no nothing. I just remember running up to the tape, and I was getting ready to go underneath. And the post was like, no, 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 you can't do that. And I just started losing it. I didn't see my son from the front, but I seen him from the back because we know our kids. And I just fell to the ground and just broke down. Yep.
That, I lost my son. He was 40 years old. That's a lot different than a 16-year-old. That's a lot different. Actually, just turning 16, was barely 16 a month. And I
Right.
ain't trying to rub it in or nothing, but damn, that's horrible to me.
Yeah.
Like this stuff is getting horrible. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
Mhm.
and then it's by our own hands. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's somebody that look like me kid that did it. And matter of fact, it's 8 of them. What did that boy do? That was
That,
so bad. And whatever he did, we can't square up. Like we can't square up no more. Like what's that? And can nobody
and
just square up and deal with
that's
it?
I said. Because even when I seen the shooter, like, I seen a picture of him, and I was just like, you know how they be like opposites attract? Like, this little bitty boy, he did what to my big old son? Like, it was just, I was blue. Like, I could not believe it, because the boy actually was 17 or 18, but he
My
looked
God,
every bit of 14. And so
terrible.
I was just like, what? Because even when they aired it on the news, they kept saying, oh, 20-year-old Corey Duncan. And I'm like, 20? What are they talking about? Like, the boy, he looked 20, but he was nowhere
But
near.
he ain't 20.
Right. So I don't know. Like I said, after all that though, I ended up I was in a deep spot. A dark place. I'm gonna say that. I was in a dark place. Because of course, like, I know how I feel to lose, like, uh a father, a grandmother, grandpa, a cousin, but like, to lose your child, that's a whole different ball game. Like, you mentally just blew
Oh
away.
yeah.
So um I kind of, like, found myself, like, drinking a lot. Like, I would wake up drinking, go to sleep drinking, not eating, um, can't sleep. Uh, I was just like a zombie, like, just all in all. Like, I was losing weight. I lost so much weight. I think that's the fastest I ever lost weight. Like,
I'm sure.
literally. But
I'm sure.
at the end of the day, I remember one time I had fell asleep. And this was like right before I was making our arrangements. And I pray a lot. So I just kept saying, God, just, give me some type of understanding. Give me, like, let me hear my son's voice. Let me know my son is okay. Like, just all this. And so I ended up falling asleep. But while I was asleep, because I'm a light sleeper, I could hear my son, because he called me mom, but he will always call me OG. He was like, OG, OG, I'm cool. I'm letting you know I'm cool, mom. I'm cool. Because one thing about my son, no matter what he was doing, he made sure he called to ask me how I'm doing, how his sister doing, are y'all okay? Like, do y'all need anything? And I'm thinking, I'm your mama. You ain't my daddy. Like, I'm supposed to be
Right.
asking you. but he was just that type of person. So I ended up just like, you know what, I'm gonna have to pull myself together. So a lot of the times, people be like, well, um, because at first I was this type of person, like, you know what, they keep saying every day it's gonna get better, and it was getting worse for me. But then
Mhm.
I kept praying, and I just kept praying about it. And then as the days went by, I said, you know what, because my job offered um, therapy sessions or whatever. So I had 20 therapy sessions. And at first, us black people, when we get to having therapy sessions, it's like, what's wrong with you? We think that something's wrong with that, but it's not. So I'll say probably about the 16, 17 session, I started feeling more and more better. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
Right.
like the grief is still gonna be there, but the thing that I've learned was to go around it. Like sometimes you might be in the car driving the car or just sitting up and you hear a song and we can't help them tears from falling from our eyes, but then I'm the type of person I might shed a few tears, but then I think about like all the good times I had with him, all the times I love you, OG. Like he always said
Hmm.
that no matter what. So I just kind of flip it. And that's the thing that works for me. So, like I said, it's been 2 years, but normally I think about him every day, don't get me wrong. But like holidays, his birthday, and then March 19th, I just cannot stand that day. Like I would literally sleep the day away for that day to buy
Me
back.
too.
Or
Me
even,
too. Me
yeah,
too.
if I'm at work, I don't go to work. I make sure I put in my time so that I don't even have to go to work or be bothered because it's just a mess. So ever since his passing, what I do is, depending on, his age that he turns, I always just, me personally, by myself, I'll get some balloons, I'll write on them, send little messages, because every night when I pray, like, I talk to him, period. And that's another thing that helps me. So I just release the balloons and then I'll be okay. Because normally, you're
Yeah.
crying behind it, but I don't know. I know how to deal with it, put it like that.
Yeah. And that's good that you do. Because I think most of us, and including you,
Uh-huh.
we have to learn how to deal with it. We have to learn what works for us. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? For me, I haven't learned what works for me. What I do know is that sometimes I'll be okay, and
Yeah.
sometimes
You,
you know,
you,
sometimes I'll go weeks like in this deep sadness, and
right.
then sometimes I'll go weeks where I'm just, chilling and, not really saying or doing anything that relates to my child. But let
Right.
me ask you this. How did your daughter do in all of this? Like, did she understand it? Was she able to
Um,
comprehend it? Did you talk to her a
yeah.
lot? Like,
Yeah. The crazy part was I would always ask her because one thing with my son too that he did was no matter what, he made sure he spent time with her. Like whether it's let her come into his room, play the game, he taking her to the park, they walking to the store. He made sure he
at a
did
time?
with her. So they was real close. And so I would ask her all the time. She was the one that actually had told me, maybe like it was like the third day after it had happened. She was like, Mommy, Corey came to my dreams and he told me to make sure I take care of you. And he okay. He told me he okay. And he gave me a kiss. I'm like, girl, what? Like, you know,
They be serious. They be
yeah,
serious with that, girl. They be
yeah,
coming to them. The young folks, they be inclined in tune with that.
uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah.
So I see a lot in her, like as far as like the things he used to do, like as far as like talking about anything, or she might do like a dance or something he do, or you know what I mean. But for the most part, I asked her all the time, like, "Are you okay?" or "What's wrong? Is some you thinking about your brother?" And she real open up. She's quiet, but she'll open up to me though. I'll be like, "You sure?" She'll be like, "Yes, I'm fine, mommy. I'm fine." Like she don't,
Now, when
you
when
know.
when all this happened, did you have any reluctancy about her going to the school, or did you think anything like,
Yes,
okay,
because she in the 7th grade. So the same school she go to, Corey went to. And I was just kind of like, oh God, because I remember when school started and they kept saying, "Oh, you Corey's sister, you know what I mean?" So like her first week of school, she was just kind of like, "Mommy, everybody know that I'm Corey's sister," and you know what I mean? And I'm like, "What's wrong? Like, does that bother you?" And she like, "No, I just wanted you to know that." But she was just kind of pretty much tired of people saying, "Oh, you know," that
yeah,
whole little
yeah.
thing. But other than that, though, no, she likes the school.
Okay, so we're gonna go back just a little bit because you never really answered the question. So I want you to
Okay.
answer it for me 'cause I'm thinking about it. So I know the one boy. So the one boy that died
Uh-huh.
shortly after, is that the one that actually shot Corey? And so
Yeah.
the case is closed, or are they still trying to apprehend or have apprehended the other 7 people?
Well, yes, that guy. Once they did that, they said that they would. One detective said that they would have to close the case because of not being able to fully recognize like everybody. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
they just knew how many. Because you could see, I guess, them running or
The
whatnot. So
cameras or
it's just
something. Okay,
yeah, and the
okay,
cameras in the apartments they was not like working, but I guess like for people with door cams and all that type of stuff, but it didn't really show like their face because they was all just running in like one direction.
okay. And let me ask you this. The boy that passed away
Uh-huh.
uh shortly afterwards, was him and Corey, is that the one you said that didn't want to shoot him and they told him to shoot him?
Yeah. Yeah.
So him and Corey, did they know each other for a long time? Did you know the little boy?
I don't know at all. Like I've never seen it. That was my first time ever seeing them. Like when the picture was going basically around because they
Okay,
were
so you
sharing
never.
a picture of the boy like on social media and stuff, and like friends was sending me pictures, stuff like that.
Okay.
But I,
Yeah,
I,
because people,
I
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I get it. Okay. So right now, I know that you say that you're doing.
uh,
Okay, you didn't tell us a lot about the therapy. So tell us a little bit about the therapy that you went to because you decided your job had offered you 20 classes and on your 17th or your 16th, you started feeling better. What
right.
was it that they were doing that kind of made you feel better? Like, was they on the same page as you? Like, were
Um,
they understanding? Like, give me some insight.
the woman that I had, she was um on the same page as me. Put it like that. The only difference was she lost a nephew, so she didn't lose a child, but she lost a nephew, which she was telling me like she cared for her nephew though. You know
Close.
what I mean? So she gave me different like I would tell her like I'm just so mad. I just feel fire at the bottom of my feet. Like I don't know my next move on what I want to do. Like I'm ready to go out here. These police ain't doing enough. I'm about to go out here and just handle my own business. She would
Mm-hmm.
say, "No, that's not what we gonna use." And then she'll give me another scenario, like, "Well, try using this phrase." I'm so angry, like just different scenario, basically. And she helped me realize like the pain is still gonna be there. It's okay to be angry, but it's different ways to go around it. Now, how you chose to go around it is on you. So that's why I said with me, when I would get so angry, I would just think of things that made me happy why he was here, or the things that he would say to me to make me laugh, or you see what I'm saying, instead of
Mm-hmm.
just lashing out, because that's where
Mm-hmm.
I was at. Like they not doing enough, so I'm about to go out here and like
Does
get crazy
does does that
rich. It wouldn't have made no
does that
sense.
go ahead?
No, I'm saying which would have been crazy, would have made no sense because that would have been
Selfish with you.
selfish to my daughter because I still have a child that I have to still take care, make sure that she's okay, and if I'm not okay, she's not gonna be okay.
Are you still angry?
Um, I wouldn't say I'm angry. Um, I think of it as more as like it's a sad situation,
Mhm.
but I'm not. I'm not gonna say I'm angry.
And so, um, do you ever go to that apartment complex?
Well, actually, I used to live in those apartment complex, but when I lived there, my son was like two.
So do you ever go back now? Like, do you go that way? Does it
Um,
trigger?
no, I do not try to. Sometimes I have to because, like, my daughter, um, the school is across the street from the apartment complex. The apartment complex is on the left side, and then my daughter's school is on the right side. So it's like I still see them, but I'm going right. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
you turn it off.
yeah, I don't like drive by them or I don't, none of that.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a couple of more questions, but this question right here, I want you to take the time and I want you to think about it.
Okay.
And I'm only just asking you this. This is the first time that I've asked this question, but with Corey being so young,
Uh-huh.
I just want to ask it. Something I want to. So,
Okay.
what do you think Corey's purpose was? Because God say we don't, the word or whatever says, we have a purpose and we're here. And I thought about his sister and I thought about you and the love that he shared with you guys. But I just wanted to know, like, did he have anything that he was working on, like maybe music or
Oh,
anything?
yes, that's where he comes. He was very talented because when I went to go get him from Atlanta, actually, Atlantic Records wanted to sign him because he did a lot of studio time. He was real good with his music. That's one thing about him. He was so good. I remember him telling me like he wanted to open up a shoe shop so that he could make custom shoes and do all these big ideas, but mainly it was the music thing. So this yeah, I felt like that's the main thing. The music. The music.
Do you ever listen to his music?
Yeah, actually I do. I do. I do.
Okay. Your daughter be around the jamming to it, like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, she knew it before me. And the crazy part was, when I had his funeral, I did a private funeral. One because the detectives was like, they was more so concerned about like retaliation and all this other stuff and just, a whole bunch of other stuff. So um, we had played his music like afterwards. And so they was all in there and I didn't know nothing. I was just listening. But then from that day forward, I said, oh, I'm gonna learn these words. So
Yeah, that's how you gotta do. You gotta know their music, girl. You got
yeah,
to know their
they was
music.
in, they was in there having the ball. So I said, okay. Yeah.
Okay, good. So it seems like you're doing well. Seems like you're navigating through the entire process and actually doing very well as a young parent. I do want to state, though, just for the audience that are listening, I just want you guys to know that raising a young Black man is not easy. And we have so many things that are against them. And it's hard to even fathom what they go through as young Black men and women, to be honest.
Right.
So I don't know what we need to do or how we need to do it, but we want to keep that in mind, especially when we see some young Black men. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's good to smile at them instead of frowning. Sometimes it's
Right.
good to have a conversation. And I know it's scary, right? It's scary. Like, do I want to conversate with them? Because what kind of people are they? But at the end of the day, they're just people and they kids and they don't know unless they experience it or unless we teach them. So Tasha, before we close out anything, I want to ask you first, do you have anything that you would like to add?
No.
I have my final question, and I ask this question to majority of my guests. And the question is, and I want you to think about it. I just don't want you to just say, hey, what first thing comes to your mouth. I want you to kind of put a little thought on it. If you could say anything to Corey right now, what would you say?
Oh, I would say that I love him. I miss him dearly. And I'm going to continue to be okay. I'm going to continue to stay strong for him and his sister. I'm going to continue to live on his name.
And that's good. And that's good. That's really good. Well, for me, um, I just get so um sad. I just get so sad with um our situation and our men and our boys turn into men. And, what are we teaching them and what are they learning and, how do they act? So I'm going to say rest in peace, Corey. God bless you. I don't normally, get into that, but um, rest well. We'll get to see him again. That's for sure. I
Right.
want to thank you for coming on. I may have you come back. I may do like a quarterly thing or something with all my guests. But I really appreciate you taking the time. I know it's not easy, but I'm hoping that it's helpful, not just to you, but also to the people that watch and
Right.
share it. You know what I'm saying? Tell people about it. And then I'm just going to ask one other question, and I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you have a lot of family support?
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Yep.
I could tell. I could tell that you do.
Yeah, I do.
I could tell by the way that you're approaching things and the way that you're feeling. That helps because you have people that are supporting you, and that's a wonderful thing. So don't take that lightly. And you guys continue to stick together, be together, and continue to lift each other up and continue to pray every day like you do, baby.
Why must there be
Produced by BI.
people who don't want me to share from this place that I've been born into? I'm just a man. Why can't they understand? The purpose of life is to live as you choose.